Hey everyone, this is Joey again at White Hat SEO Services. Thank you for tuning in. Today we're going to be talking about, the most important thing, Google algorithm updates. And I want to focus around this for the past 2 years, 2022 to this year, because there are definitely a lot of Google algorithm updates previously. Um, I'm talking about like the animal updates, like panda, penguin, pigeon. There's even hummingbird. If you notice some of these animals, why are they black and white, right? Panda. What else? I think there's a zebra one too, and I just mentioned panda, penguin, right? Because it's technically, when you think about it, it's white hat and black hat SEO, right? When you think about it, what are the white hat tactics, strategy? What are the black hat tactics, strategy that SEO experts use to lift keyword rankings? So Google is well aware of that. Why does Google have algorithm updates? Obviously, because they want to improve the search quality of the search results, right? They want to make sure when people are searching, uh, they're getting what they want, based on their intent. Are they getting the answers to the problems they're trying to find, search for? Are they converting, buying the products that they're search, from the search stage? These are the things that definitely Google want to achieve. Most importantly, Google is well aware that the traffic is maybe declining. At least previously there was Amazon, then you got social media, boom, like TikTok. So they're well aware that some of the audience may have gone to other vertical search engines, we call it, because they all have search engines. When you think about it, if you can search on any web properties, usually when they have a search bar, it is a search engine. It doesn't have to be like Google. It doesn't have to be like Yahoo, Bing. It can be any web properties. So Google is well aware of that. So their goal, from my perspective, is to keep their audience on their site. They're obviously going to change more search results, snippets, features, so that people, when they search, they don't go to other websites. Hopefully, I mean, it will obviously go to other websites, but they want them to come back as well and stay on Google instead of going to other search engines, right? So why is there position 0, for instance? Those quick answer, we call it. Think about it. If you find like, oh, what is the conversion formula for Celsius degrees to Fahrenheit, for instance, you have the answer on Google. Why do you need to go anywhere else to look for that answer, right? So Google is very smart, and they're also going to be doing that in a similar way with generative AI, where they're going to generate results based on their own AI intelligence, AI algorithm incorporated to the algorithm, where it will spits out content and it will source what it believes to be the best source content out there on Google. So it's going to be interesting. Things are changing fast, but today I want to focus on what really matters these days, because there's so many algorithm updates out there. Which ones are we supposed to focus on? So understand, for the past few years, everyone was talking about mobile, right? Google was trying to shift from desktop to mobile because there's more and more people using mobile devices. And believe it or not, in the future, it's going to be more towards voice, and I personally believe it's visual, and like I said, vertical search engines, right? It's going to be more like using Amazon Alexa or using OK Google and Apple Siri to find what information that people need. So not necessarily people need to actually type things out in the future. And then also the type of information content that we will be presented with are not probably only going to be just textual based. It will probably be more and more visual, including video and images, things like that, as it's more interactive. And some people tend to absorb content better through that content style. So that's another thing to know. Another thing to know is that product review updates have been more and more frequently updated in Google's algorithm as well. Why is that? Because product review is a type of UGC, which is user-generated content. Google loves UGC content. Why? Because it has very high trust, worthiness. Why? Because it's the users themselves creating content, and not like big brands or companies that are trying to create content. It could be biased sometimes, right? So Google values UGC. Like social media is UGC, right? We're always constantly posting content on social of our own created content. That's our own personalized, and there's really difficult. It's kind of difficult to copy that, right? I mean, you can copy it, but most of the content there is mostly original, personalized, and more importantly, it has like value to it, right? But product review is going to be important when you think about it. I want to say, like, when you're converting, when you're trying to look for and buy something, people are going to look at product reviews. Like Amazon, no brainer. The reason why Amazon does so well, in my opinion, is because of their review system. It's pretty good. I've been using other e-commerce sites like in Taiwan here, and I have to say, it's no way near Amazon's sophisticated, review system. The reviews here are like probably half the majority of them, or some of them at least, are not even real reviews, right? So it's so important that Amazon notice that maybe there are fake spam reviews, that they're making sure they need to make sure those are getting removed and not happening more and more, right? So that's why I believe that's one of the key value of Amazon. Obviously, there's other things like Amazon Prime and fast delivery, all that stuff, but reviews is probably the reason why someone want to purchase. One of the main reasons why I want to purchase a product, right? Because why would you all of a sudden see an ad and believe, oh, this ad is so great that I'm going to buy it? I'm sure that's like a small percentage, right? Majority of people need to hear it from other people when they buy a product. They want to make sure the feedback of using those products are positive, more positive than negative, right? So that's why product reviews are so important. The other one is actually the most important thing I want to talk about, because I recently wrote an article about it. It's called the Helpful Content Update. So what is it? Well, really, when you think about the name, what else could it be, right? It's basically an update to make sure that is our content helpful to the people who are searching, right? It's not just for search engine crawlers, because you know how SEOs, there are black hat, gray hat, you name it. They use tactics and strategies to kind of like play with the algorithm so that you could kind of trick the crawlers to say this content is why you should show up on search engine results. So sometimes the content is not really meant for users to read. And for instance, if you stuff a lot of keywords into a body content, when people are reading it, it's going to sound really weird, right? Why are you mentioning this term so many times? It doesn't even sound natural. And maybe even grammatically, it's going to be incorrect. So that's why Google is trying to fix this, and we need to really pay attention to this update more and more, because AI is coming in, right? Believe it or not, I use AI. I'll confess, I use AI to write my blogs recently. I want to do some testing, because there are definitely challenges from other people I see that say, hey, AI content shouldn't be quality content. But there are also people that prove to Google that, hey, we use AI, but we actually have people QAing and reviewing these content. And guess what? They're actually ranking well from what I saw. So to me, it doesn't really matter if you're using AI or not. Most important thing is, are you delivering content that's going to help, as this update is called, help the audience, right? Is it going to answer what they need, trying to look for? Is it going to achieve the ultimate goal of why they are searching for this term, for instance? So it's very important to understand that we need to make sure when we create content, it's not for the robots, really. Back then, SEOs probably do it that way, and it works, maybe, sometimes. But more and more recently, Google's going to get smarter. Its algorithm's going to be smarter, hence AI. It's going to know where are the red flags. So I would suggest to shift more towards this direction instead of using the traditional methods that would be considered black hat and maybe gray hat. But there's a very important part component to the helpful content update. What that means is they want to focus more on not just quality content, but real, personalized, hands-on, first-hand experiences from experts out there, because they realize anybody can write these content, right? But they believe, in my opinion, makes sense that the people who actually have hands-on, that first-hand experience, can really give valuable content. I mean, there are going to be media journalists. They are in the niche, great, but there are also some that aren't in the niche. They just know how to write. So can you see the difference, right? It's one to have someone who has first-hand experience, and another to kind of like just make it up or use other personal experience to write it, which can work in my opinion, maybe. But understand, first-hand experience is going to be so important, right? Whatever you write, it should really come from the people who have that personalized, hands-on first-hand experience. Even if you're going to write from a third-party perspective, you should consider the source from the original person who has the expertise. Um, Another important goal is that you want to avoid really just trying to trick the algorithm, like hiding keywords to using, trying to create a lot of content for the sake of quantity and not focusing on quality. I really believe that there's nothing wrong with creating a lot of content as long as it's serving, has benefit value, right? But if you're just doing it for the sake of hitting the jackpot, making sure one or ten is going, it probably won't happen either, because you're not spending enough time and effort into those articles, then you're not going to succeed. Um, Also, using automated methods to create content that has no quality. I think if you're using automated methods to create quality content, it might work if you know how to make it work. But if there's no quality to it, probably stay away as well. There's other way to create content where we just look at what other people are writing and summarize it, right? We just kind of use, what people are saying and mix and match, but we don't really add our own personal, value to it. Then that's not good quality either. So if you notice, I keep saying it, you have to have something that only you, your original, or the expertise, personal, firsthand, hands-on experience input to the article, or else in the future it will probably not stay ranking in the top positions for the long run. There's other ways of creating content where we're always trying to catch that trend, right? Catch the wave, seize the opportunity. Let's say AI, okay, everyone's going to write about it. But if that has nothing to do with your web property, or you don't know how to connect it to make it more relevant to your audience, then guess what's going to happen, right? Is it going to rank well? Probably not. All right. And also, more importantly, like I said, experience is going to be so important, because Google's algorithm values is going to focus on the EAT model, which is what basically, you gotta have expertise, you gotta have authority and trustworthiness, right? But more importantly, they added this EEAT now, which adds the first word is experience. If you don't have that real personal experience, they're gonna start to monitor that. They can kind of tell just by reading your content whether you really have experience or not. So, like I said, if you're gonna write something, hopefully you find someone who has the actual experience. Even if you don't, right? Find someone that have it. Yeah, so that's pretty much it about the algorithm updates. There's also spam, link building. We've been knowing that for a long time now. Obviously, you don't know purchase links that are really bad. It doesn't really helpful. But I believe there's still good ways of building links. But just gotta be careful. You don't want to pay people to just stuff links somewhere or insert multiple keywords on a page so you link back. That's not a good method to build links. A good link, imagine, is like working with a media and then they write about what your product or your website really has to offer. That's the best way. Having guest people write with you, they post on your site, but you can use it on your site as well. That's really the most efficient way from my experience of building links. But anyway, if you have any other questions, comments about Google's algorithm updates, feel free to comment below. Also like the video, share it with your friends, peers, and make sure to subscribe to the channel. Thank you. Talk to you guys next time.